In this episode, I'm building the first of 3 task exhibits for the TRIWIZARD Tournament. Now, for those of you who do not know, the TRIWIZARD Tournament brings together 3 schools for a series of magical contests.
Now, let me be clear. If chosen, you stand alone. And trust me when I say, these contests are not for the faint-hearted.
From each school, a single student is elected to compete in 3 tasks to win the TRIWIZARD Cup. In Harry's case, someone manipulated the impartial judge, the Goblet of Fire, to elect a 4th champion.
Harry Potter.
And these 3 tasks are always different, but in this first task, each school champion had to face a dragon and steal a golden egg from the brooding mother. This egg contained a riddle with a clue to the second task, which takes place in the Black Lake. And the third task is a maze containing a variety of enchantments and magical creatures. Hey guys! In case you weren't there for the stream, I'm looking at our Chinese fireball and our sleeping Hungarian Horntail in the distance. And yeah, the live stream, this is our green Welsh Green and a Swedish Shortsnout. So in case you weren't there, this is what we did. It was a lot of trial and error, and it was more of a brainstorming session, but I needed that because I didn't know how to continue. But now I know what to do with the TRIWIZARD Tournament, and I'm going to do it as a speed build, but I wanted to tell you first. So what I had trouble with is to find a place where to put it, because it's not a house thing, it's a Hogwarts thing. So I felt like it would be weird to put it in a house corner, but we decided to put it in Slytherin because Slytherins are competitive and ambitious. So it fits with the tournament. But I have now decided, it just sort of hit me, that I'm going to put it in every house corner. And there will be 4 stations, 4, I wouldn't call it exhibits, but we're going to start in Gryffindor and put the dragons here. And I'm going to take the zip line over it because I want this to be not just a monument, but something interactive. So I thought it would be cool if we're going to create our own stadium, and so you have the chance to take the test and steal the egg, or you can just watch. But at least you have to ride the zip line, show a little bit of courage to go there. And we're going to install like 4 different entries to the different nest areas, and we're going to pretend like it's you buy sort of a ticket to compete. And so once you have collected your egg, you get to solve a riddle. And who likes to solve riddles? Ravenclaw. So we're going to put a lagoon in Ravenclaw with several possibilities to interact with it, like using the lagoon glitch. And after that, we're going to the maze. And I kind of like the idea of having it in the shape of a snake. And after you reach the end of the maze and you've encountered a ton of magical creatures and danger, you're going to be transported to Hufflepuff because they're the social guys and they like to party. And so this is where the port key at the end of the maze is going to take you to a fun little plaza where there is a social gathering and a celebration. And how exactly that is going to look, or what this is going to entail, I'll just leave it open for the future, but I want to at least start and get the 3 tasks started. And this is going to take a long time, so I have to do this as a speed build. I hope you will forgive me for that. So let's get started. So hi, now let me explain a little bit better what I'm planning with this whole TRIWIZARD thing. and what my problem was. But because actually my problem is also not just that I didn't know where to put it, but that in my head, this park exists in an alternate universe. But maybe that is the problem. Maybe we should just have it in the Harry Potter universe as it exists. So there is a Hogwarts school and there is a Hogwarts Park. Yeah, but I was like, okay, so the TRIWIZARD tournament in my alternate universe didn't take place as it did in the book and in the movie. But what I didn't take into account is that you guys are, of course, eager to reproduce stuff we know from the movies and the books. And I don't want to put a stop to that. I just want to say that is fun and that is cool and we're going to do that, but not, I just want to sort of keep our minds open for our own ideas and to get a little bit more creative, sort of think out of the box. What would a Slytherin have put in his corner, Gryffindor put in his corner, and that sort of stuff. And once it clicked in my head, like, okay, so we're having a TRIWIZARD tournament in this park. Like, let's say do it once a year, not every day, that's insane, but like have it be something important. Once a year, there's a TRIWIZARD tournament in the park and it changes every time. But this time, like we can have several exhibits that would be fitting for a task of the TRIWIZARD tournament. But this time it sort of is the same as Harry's TRIWIZARD tournament was. And so I kind of liked that I could, put them in several house corners once I sort of picked the tasks apart. And, to enter takes courage, to face a dragon takes courage. So why not start with Gryffindor and then have this be a whole day event? You start in the morning with Gryffindor, you have to face danger, and once you collected the egg, the second task starts, and part of that task is to solve the riddle, being like a crucial part of the second task. I could put it in Ravenclaw, because that's the stuff those people like to do, use your head and figure things out. And same with the maze, this is the last task. This is all about the win, There is the TRIWIZARD Cup, I don't know, at the center or wherever we want to put it. And the first tasks and how you manage them determine if you get a head start for the maze or not. And then it's just who gets to the trophy first. And that is a competitive thought that I thought fit very well with Slytherin, Now it's all about the win. And that is very Slytherin for me. And putting the celebration part of the event in Hufflepuff, maybe using the amphitheater and create a bit of a plaza in it. And so the person who gets the cup is transported there, and then it's a whole celebration, maybe even with a big concert at the end in the evening of the the Wicked Sisters and stuff. I think that would be kind of fun. So it's a whole day event, and now it makes sense to me. Before it sort of, I didn't know what to make of it, if that's understandable in any way. Okay, but now back to the build. Let me tell you what I did here. Right now I'm choosing rocks to create the rock formations that I wanted the nests, the eggs, to sit in. And I thought it would be kind of fun to create 4 different biomes, quote unquote, not really biomes, but I felt like we have these green mossy rocks that fit very well with a Welsh green, and the red rocks could go with the fireball, and the black rocks could go with the Hungarian Horntail. We don't have blue rocks, but come on, that's fine. And just to have it visually interesting, not 4 samey things. So I created like these 4 different environments using the rocks in a way that they sort of point towards the nest. That is a bit inspired by, you know, Hogwarts Legacy, because near those creature dens or around them, you always find, I don't know, structures, or like with the dragon skeleton at the Thestral den I showed you in the last video. It always looks special, interesting, not natural, if you know what I mean. So I wanted to have, to emphasize the areas around the nest, and I thought this could kind of work. So that's what I did. By the way, we tried in the live stream, tried the amber planter, the round one, if that could be a golden egg, and it sort of could, but this was like a trial and error thing we did there the entire time. I said, let's just try both versions and then determine which we like best. And turns out we preferred the red egg, especially if you put the lights around it. Then there's this big shadow cast in it, and if you look at it, especially at nighttime, I'm going to show you some glamour shots, and then you will know what I'm talking about. It sort of looks, it could very well be a golden egg. So, you know, there you go. And with this build, especially, I had a lot of going back and forth. As you saw with the galleries that were towers and galleries and changed position and everything. It's just that I tried a lot. And in a way that is actually, as I said in the last video, that is how I work when I'm doing my graphic design stuff, and actually when I'm building without anyone watching. And I think I haven't found my recording mode again yet, because it's, in a way, you get to see the whole thought process if I show you how I put things somewhere and then delete them and replace them 6 times. But it's also, it can get a little bit confusing, and for editing it's kind of weird. So I hope that I'll find a way back to my recording mode, because this is, unless you guys don't mind, so please, if this is totally fine for you this way, just tell me, because that would be really cool, so I can just keep doing what I'm doing. But it's getting confusing in the end, especially when I'm starting to decorate the guest section and actually like plan out the whole thing, because I kept some stuff out of it, of this edit, because I rebuilt it like a couple of times and changed the path design, all of that stuff, because I was a bit uninspired, and at first it was too big again, and then I remembered that I wanted to go smaller and more tightly packed for this build, so I redid the whole thing. And that's kind of it. And actually, I have already recorded the lagoon building in Ravenclaw. That when is finished, at least the outside of it, haven't decorated inside, but I have a few ideas. Maybe you have some more. Or for the maze, actually, I'm not sure if I still wanted to have a snake shape, because that is maybe impractical for such a small house corner. So if you have ideas for the maze, keep them coming. If you have ideas for any detail that I should have added to this exhibit that I didn't, again, please don't shy away from telling me. I'm open to all suggestions. This is our park. So yeah, the lagoon. I was done with this, decorating the lagoon, which I changed a couple of times too. And then I just saw as if I were blind before, or partially, like, I don't know, if I had dementia or something. Then I saw the egg planter that I hadn't used in this section as a decoration, and then thought, yeah, but wait a minute. Wouldn't it be cooler to put the egg decoration planter with the dragon thing, because it's about getting the egg. The other thing is just about solving the riddle that happens to have the shape of an egg. But here, it's about the egg. Get the egg. Get the egg. So I went back, deleted a whole lot of the stuff that I had put there already, and redid the whole thing. And why am I telling you now? I could have done this later. But yeah, what can I tell you about placing bushes and different trees? Yeah, because I decided to, the arena in the movie, as you saw, is it's barren. It's bare, completely bare, except for rocks. And that might be accurate because all the dragons seem to live in mountainous regions. But I sort of, I'm planning on putting a Hufflepuff Care of Magical Creatures station in Hufflepuff. And I kind of feel like those people, like the staff that is responsible for the animals. That took me a long time to figure out this word. They would want them to have like a nice home. And so why don't we give them like also a little bit of privacy? I kind of like the idea that you can't look into this exhibit unless you take the zip line or step into one of the viewing galleries. And so yeah, the vegetation helps. And of course, just like with the rocks, I chose 4 different types of vegetation. And I felt like the Welsh Green, Wales is like, sure, I guess you find Scots pines and whatever there, but I thought this would be fitting to use ginkgos and, deciduous trees. And yeah, I like to add the Basin trees here with the habitat of the Swedish Shortsnout. Sweden, I think they kind of have these trees that have like these, it's not moss that is hanging from them. It's actually something else, but I don't know. What you saw me do here is with the goat feeders. I thought instead of creating entries to the exhibit with gates, why don't we pretend that the contestants enter via those goat feeders? Here you go. This is how it looks at night or at dawn. So you kind of see what I meant with the shadow on the egg. There's this shadow in front, and the golden glow of the lights sort of, it could be golden. Couldn't it? Anyhow, where was I? What was I talking about just now? Oh my goodness. Yeah, the goat feeders. Yes, the goat feeders are the access for our contestants. And how to get into those goat feeders, you'll see in just a second, which is now, because I'm putting 2 of these connection buildings here. One is, as you saw, the flue powder thing that leads to the second task. And the other one is the entry for the contestants. And once you go in there, you will end up in the exhibit, in the task surrounding and facing your dragon, the one you picked randomly from, I don't know, out of a hat or something. So now starts the confusing part where I was trying things out. I didn't really know how I wanted to decorate the Gryffindor section yet. I know its colors are gold and red, so I tried with the red and yellow flags. Put benches around the skeletons here. I kind of liked the idea to use this banner, the When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth banner, in all these TRIWIZARD Tournament exhibits. And in the beginning, I said the only way to access here was via the zip line, but I sort of softened that down and chose to. I mean, if this is a real event, it's not like an interactive exhibit, not just an interactive exhibit. I want guests who are not competing to be able to interact with it, and that is also something that I managed to do with the lagoon. So there's the zip line for the courageous ones. You can ride over the dragons. That is already, I don't know, really thrilling. But I sort of don't want to urge everyone who wants to watch to ride the zip line. I mean, the spectators don't have to be courageous. They're just here to enjoy some fun and games and not get killed. So I open it up with access with the doors. And I think that's okay. Because, oh my God, my pronunciation today is a little weird. And now I found the eggs, and now I redid everything. So yeah, because my thought is, how do you leave? If this task is in the morning, like, or maybe early noon, and the contestants get immediately after they catch the egg transported to like an area where they can, solve the riddle, where they have like 3 hours to solve the riddle before the next task starts, the lagoon task. So I wouldn't want the people watching this to sort of be closed in for 3 hours and not being able to move around, enjoy the rest of the park, So I open it up, and I think that's totally fine. Yeah, I placed a lot of these pointy and spiky flowers because of the orange and red. There was a goat that was yeeted over the fence, or maybe it just stepped into water. Who knows? But yeah, some fun stuff. Yeah, I've for some reason I didn't think to use these flowers before, but I think they're actually kind of fitting. That they are a bit reminding or reminiscent of a fiery breath that exudes from a giant dragon's mouth. Listen to me. Yeah, and with the egg planter, of course, I used the red jungle tropical plant because of the color red that is the house color of Gryffindor. And I know these plants are prickly, and I'm putting them all behind benches, but honestly, I feel like so many things in the wizarding world are uncomfortable, inconvenient, and dangerous, and but because they're fun, people don't mind. It's a bit weird. I mean, wizards are weird, but I like them. So just do your thing, wizarding community. It's fine. But yeah, so I thought, okay, you know what? People do all kinds of stuff that is really dangerous and uncomfortable. They won't mind a bit of prickling flowers in their back when they're sitting on these benches. So I put them there. I was hesitant to do that before because of realism and stuff. And yeah, now I just created like the rest of this, sort of established a pattern of how to place the egg planter and the little one, the little spiky one with all the dragon skulls, and sort of refrained from using too many different decoration items. That sort of calms it down, you know. It's even though it's stuffed, it's not too busy. Although while walking through there, it sort of feels like I could add some things in a few spaces, but it's okay for now. And yeah, no, just some rearranging. I added those benches there next to the contestant entry because, you know, so they could sit and wait for their turn to be called out or something. I don't know. Also benches. Why not put benches there? Benches are always fine. Always good. And now I just added a large planter here. A planter. And still trying to figure out how to place this egg planter. And yeah. So I put these plants all around in there. I'm going to pick up Malta walls, yeah, and put them there to sort of, you know, change it up a bit. The thing with what I just said, using the same decorations over and over again, it sort of makes everything look a bit more thought of, but it can get boring. So I didn't want to decorate this the same as the other side. So naturally, I just thought of making a huge planter with the red flowers in it. I didn't have space for the small orange pointy, whatever it is, flower between the red tropical ones because, yeah, it's not the smallest planter type, and there is actually a difference between the two potted plants we got with the last update. And there we go. And it's the second smallest, so it's too big to squeeze into those nooks. And this is the ride down the zip line. Didn't I show this before? And now we're just walking through this area, and now you see what I meant. There's some space for more stuff, but I think it's fine like this. So there is a Swedish Shortsnout, the Hungarian Horntail. Can't see. Oh yeah, the Welsh Green in the distance. Wonderful. So this right here looks a bit empty. I think I could put something in front of the flu network thingy and maybe in front of the contestant entry too. There it is. Perfect. And this looks a little as if it could use some more love and care. But yeah, I hope you like this. I hope you'll stay tuned. I hope you have ideas for how I could decorate the inside of the lagoon and about the maze and all of that stuff. Since the lagoon is already recorded, I'm putting it out pretty soon because I'm hyped for the update. So I want to get to the new stuff we're going to get as soon as possible. And so yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. If you like this, please leave a like and consider subscribing. Until next time, bye-bye.